Uh, we're at 3 o'clock. I think we have 30 minutes, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, we have a few minutes to talk about this. So feel free to ask any question aloud, or you can type your question on the chat. So somebody said, Donald, is a Shao dead? How does one contact him?
That's back in ancient time, and during this mythology. Okay, nowadays we can't even communicate or see spirits now. Right after the separation of spirits and human, we don't contact with God anymore. Okay, so he's still out there. He's still out there. We just don't communicate now.
But in the Hmong society, you still have a myth of the return of Shao, and it's a myth, but people do believe in it. For example, the years of 2000, a lot of Hmong people were expected to have Shao to come back on Earth.
Yeah.
So, Kevin Vang asked you a question, Sue.
How long does it take to learn how to play all these songs? When I started learning these songs, I was about 22, 23, right when I finished my learning process. And so once you get the hang of it, the language of it, it takes about, maybe a day. If I, like I said, if I will tell myself I want to learn this song today, I'll just learn that song today. That was it. Maybe a few hours and I got it. Yeah, that's it. But you got to be an expert and know all these language first.
Yeah. Nuchia, one question from Nuchia.
Okay, so are Jordan or not married couple simply companion or siblings? There are other stories saying like Jordan, maybe Dr. Goli will know this. I don't know the full story of Jordan now, okay? But from my understanding, they're a couple, okay? I hear other story that they're not a couple, but later on they were a couple. So maybe Dr. Goli, if she knows, she could explain more. Yeah.
So they are both brothers, sisters, also. So it's a long story, but we have a lot of questions. So keep going. I keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Let me be clear on that. Okay.
Stephen.
Okay. In terms of these stories, these myths taught down by different elders, they may switch the word around. Okay. Maybe the creator and maybe just song jump in and switch around down. And so we just learn according to what the elder our instructor tell us. But maybe these names could be in different order or different song. Okay. So keep that in mind as well. Okay. Why is it that I understand that. Why is it that when people pass away, they tell the spirit to go back to where she was born? Because when we were born in back in Laos, we have a placenta that comes out. Okay, the placenta back in ancient not ancient but in Laos and Thailand, you will take that placenta. If it's a boy, you bury it under the main pillar of the house. If it's a daughter, you bury it under the bed. Okay, so when you pass away, you need that. That's considered, and spiritually, that's considered. That's the coat, the coat, your jacket, the coat, the placenta that require you need to go attain that and go back into and reincarnate it. So you see, every new baby born must have that coat, right? The placenta in there, and so you need that coat, that placenta, to go. And so when you reincarnate, you have that with you. So that's a repeating cycle all over again. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So from Dovang, why did the Hmong people have to build the horse for the dead?
Yeah, I explained it briefly. I went really fast. Sorry for that. So they have to build a name because spiritually, in the spirit world, the deceased, we don't have transportation like we have cars, we have gas, where we have trains and everything where it's going to go to the spiritual layer, right? So we have the spiritual horse. This spiritual horse is like that. Could fly. This horse will fly off. Okay, it's not just the average horse where you just ride on the ground. This horse, so the name 都多呢有主到家都呢那么听 tell you how process of transportation tell you 用语都那那 because spirit world there's no train there's no bus there's no airplane okay no gas no coal soil okay all right
well okay we go to Qeej. Qeej have a questions about Adam Eve.
Okay, let me see Qeej. Oh, are the parallels regarding on Shao and Zinyong in Western myths such as Adam and Eve? You could. There are some relation to that. Okay, 你像后给个么嘛，都估计弄内弄讲那么呀，要米干 in the Bible 嘛要 Adam and Eve 呢，你说比较蒙呢，or Hmong people 并不个安装呢，so our God 安装 is 要干什么还 like I said. We have very similar. If you go read the Bible, the Genesis, Kikena, God's story and all are very, very similar to theirs, you know. And so, from my understanding and my speculation is that back then we were one people, just like how that we were one group people, and then we went through all these same situations, all these same event, catastrophic event, and then. We just when we divide into different groups, I know the second round after the flood, a different part of the world down there. God, you take what you remember from it. I take from what I remember, and so our story became it's similar, but it's not exactly the same. So maybe that's why these stories are more similar. So. You know, who knows?
The same. Okay, so next you have Rosemary. She want to know about how you transcribe this myth from memory.
Oh, how do I from memories? I learned. So what I do is back then my master, he doesn't know how to read and write, so he'll teach me. Okay, so I'll teach you a word, a phrase. You learn it, memorize it. So that's how I learn it. I memorize word for word, phrase for phrase, word for word, phrase for phrase until I get the entire song. All right, next song, do the same thing. Do the same thing, and then and I memorize all these songs. And as an active thing player or thing master, you want to learn as much as possible. They like in a thing presentation in the past, it's like, okay, you're a game master. Well, do you know this song? Do you know this song? I was like, yeah, I have a version of that. They okay, then you're good. Okay, what if you claim yourself to be a game master or expert? And do you know this song? Do you know this song? Oh, I haven't learned. Okay, you're not quite there yet. Okay, so we as active in the community, you have to memorize all these songs, every song that you learn. Okay, so. At the funeral, people want to test you, compete against you. I could play that song. You have a version, I have a version too. Okay, we keep it fresh in our mind always, constantly. Like as I mentioned, these are my passion. These are what I know is known for. So
So I'm going to ask something. In fact, you have different traditions, and so learn from one master. So you may have a different version. For example, for the Gongjuan, Dona, you may have different version.
Yes.
Good. So Dona ask questions about the origin of incense and paper money for spirit.
Donald, I think that's that may be adopted from the Chinese culture tradition, because that's my belief. Okay, now those incense and money paper are all according to back in the ancient China and how they use it. The little people call it the boat money. It's not a boat money. That's a gold. Back then, okay. In ancient China, there are actually two streams that they fill up with money and looks exactly called square thing. So we probably the Chinese created that, or we may create it, but either way we adopt it or create it, and we use it toward offer it to the spirit, our ancestor, right, to the spirit world. Okay, but when you, like I said, when you refer back to Chinese, ancient Chinese money, how they use money, okay.
Shu, you have to speak English fully or more.
Okay.
So none can understand. So okay, Maya has a very question. So she said, could human go to the spirit world unless they are shaman? Yeah, it's very interesting, no?
Which one? Maya?
Yeah, Maya Lao.
Okay, so I think the ancient Chinese culture, they tend to emphasize earth, real, moral, real, and nether world. Okay, we both have. We're both heaven, realm, God, and the Netherlands, saying spiritual. So human cannot go into spirit unless they're shaman. Well, like I said, but at the beginning, we only have in our cosmology belief, it's either yin or it's either yang. Yin is that, okay? Yang is all the humans here. Yin is it's where all the gods, okay? Even gods, it's in heaven, or dragons in the ocean, or lightning god is in the sky. In the spirit world, all of them are considered to be in yin, the yin side, the yin spiritual realm, okay? And so, human as us, we cannot travel to the spirit world. Only those people in the spirit world could come to the yang side and stay in the spiritual world. And so a shaman has the first shamanistic power, his ritual, his spiritual law, that is the helper of that was shaman with his Shi. So if you're a human being and those Shi's spiritual helper, the comes to you, then when you perform this ritual, you could spiritually, those helpers gonna guide you and take you into the spirit world to go find out why a person is sick, right? Okay, so that's the only way that we know of that we could go into the spirit world and communicate with the spirit through the shaman owner. And other people, people that the people who think they could go or to the spirit world, man. I don't want to speak in them, because that's, like psychic people, right? The psychic people, some of these, they think they can predict the future, read your fate, or even travel the spirit to find out why. But these, I don't want to comment on that because I haven't studied about them, or that's not into my interest to learn this. I focus on our mythology and how we are as humans, okay?
Mm-hmm. So, Caroline, very easy question. Would you take a female student, Sue, in your class?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open. I'm young. I'm pretty open. Learning things is really super extremely hard in terms of Hmong traditions and culture and talent, skill. Thing is the hardest of any form of gekao. Okay, thing requires at least 2 years to know the basic or even play properly or play. So, I mean, if you have time, if I have a class in the future, or I'm more available to teach, I'm open to anyway. You want to learn, you want to spend some commitment on it, that's fine too. I don't mind.
Oh, this is a very, very challenging question about placenta.
Okay. If we need the placentas when we die, what if the placenta was missing or got thrown away? For example, kids are born exactly. That's it right there. That's our that's some issue we have nowadays. So, spiritually, okay. Remember, we're in the yang, the yin. Okay, placenta when it comes out, it's in the yin. But when we bury it, spiritually, it's always going to be there where you bury it. Okay, so when a person die, he or her vital spirit, they're going back to the place to spiritually get the placenta. So we know the placenta is all rotten already, because after that many years, it's gonna disappear. It's gonna rot. It's gonna disappear. but spiritually it's still there. So in the case of today, in today's world, we're in America, we have a hospital where we get birth in the hospital. They take the placenta, they do something else, throw it away, whatever. But physically, spiritually, the placenta will still be there at the hospital. So when that person passed away and he or she was born in that hospital in that city, all we have to do is, okay, your placentas is in this hospital in this city. Go to that city and go pick up your placenta. So I'm assuming spiritually they will go get it. They could get it either way, spiritually. Okay.
Yeah. The relationship with placenta is a symbolic. It's not physical. You won't go to take a placenta. In fact, the spirit goes look for the place where you were born.
Exactly.
And so symbolically, when you reach that place, you will be able to travel back. It's a symbolic.
Yeah.